but UPI is free for most transactions. So, what is the P&L statement of UPI?
Uh, so I would slightly differ in this. Yeah. So one thing is I agree with the fact that um, there's a lot of bleed because UPI does not have MDR. Obviously, many a times MDR is embedded into the price MRP, which is, let's say your MDR is 2%, so your overall cost of product will entail certain cost, 2% cost around MDR. So if at all you're making a payment to credit card. One best case is you go to a smaller, I mean, I have experienced this. You have go to a smaller jewelry store and there you flash your credit card. They will say, upfront, give me, I'll charge 2% extra. That's because they have to pay that. It's not embedded there. So, yeah, so back to your question. So, of course, but there's a bleed in the overall investment that one in has to do overall in
How much is the
UPI.
bleed?
Because
Like, how much would a bank be
I don't think
investing
I can have the right number with me. I don't even
just
have
for
the
a
number which
single
I
bank?
can.
Okay.
It's very difficult,
Hmm.
Akshay, because it differs. Like I said, it depends on bank how they want to take UPI as a case. For example, there is a bank with which we are working. They have built the ecosystem such that they can consume. I mean, they can consume the services, UPI services, and they can expose it to their customers, mobile banking customers, or any other customer wherever they can expose UPI, or they can expose the services to merchants who can open bank account here, or they can expose the services to government entity and yeah, and get those funds also here. So so it's up to them how they want to explore this. Now here the calculation is that you cannot charge MDR, but at the same time because you cannot charge MDR, you are compelled to innovate and you're compelled to build different models via which you can generate revenue. You can generate a value added services, or you can solve certain problem
Give me some
riding
examples.
on UPI. So like I mentioned about ERP, okay. So we're thinking of, so we are planning to launch this, and as in you have this typical case of jewelry stores wherein I don't have the right percentage with me, but let's say one third of their entire sale happens through monthly collections. So if you go buy something and then they will ask you to, why don't you pay 2,000 per month? Pay it for 11 months, 12 months will pay from our pocket. It is nothing but
Yeah, yeah.
8% additional over
That
your
kitty
payment.
system. Yep, yep, yep.
So yeah, so 22,000 becomes 24,000, and then you buy the product.
Hmm.
So that's a great way to increase your sales. But
Yes,
you do
and
not
it's a
have,
savings product also for like an
yeah,
informal savings product. Hmm.
yeah, you get, let's say, 8% or interest rate, and then you buy gold, so which you can save it for long term. Now, in this case, it is, do we have the product? Do we have the auto pay facility on the spot, wherein while buying the this particular scheme, you can pick up your phone and you can allow the user to approve it and make the payment. It's not Nash, right, where you need a scan copy of your check. What will you do then? If can you open the scheme? No. Then he will go back home. Then he will come back, or he will ask for the photocopy from home. Give it to me on image, and then you give it. So you don't do Nash here. You need to have something which is real time, and you create a real time auto pay. Now,
Nash
can we
is
solve that problem? Nash is an NACH, which allows you to, so that's a different product altogether, which allows you to create a
monthly debit or something.
frequency,
Okay.
yeah, a proper frequency, when exactly the debit can happen, what amount to be debited. So it creates that subscription based model on it. Now, UPI allows you to do auto pay real time on the UPI ID that you have. On top of this, if I built a certain solution which solves their problem around customer engagement, customer acquisition, it allows them to build certain uh, use cases around discounts, around new schemes, and give that product to the jewelry store. This guy will be happy to pay me a convenience fees of 10 rupees because I have helped him with all those solutions. He'll not pay me for the MDR. He'll definitely pay me for the onboarding process, for the hosted application for which I'm spending on infra. He'll pay me for creating discounts. He'll pay me for the promotion that he's using from my application. So that is how you start building the product. So I would say that scarcity is the mother of innovation, right? We know that, right? So now because there is no MDR, you'll find all the fintech, paytech running behind such use cases and trying to create the solution. So that's about one piece. The second piece is how do we solve the problem for banks and how do we solve the problem for these guys? So can there be a reconciliation system wherein you bring down the manual efforts and make it automated? So your cost towards recon goes down from, let's say, if it is about 50 paise, goes down to, let's say, 7 paise or 8 paise. At least you're bringing down the cost. So you'll be ready to pay for that rather than paying 50 paise. So there again, so either you bring down the cost or you generate certain model wherein the revenue can be created. So this is possible on UPI right now because UPI is almost about, let's say, 78%. I don't know the latest number, but 78% of the total digital volume in the country. And if that's the touch point, I mean, every 8 out of 10 transactions are on UPI, you have to bring products and services on UPI. Then you survive.